Hello fellow collectors, and welcome to part 2 of my weekly haul video. As it seems to becoming a habit, I picked up too much stuff to cover in a single video, and so this video is going to focus on opening up a bunch of other stuff and taking a closer look at it. To get started, we're going to take a look at this very cool Ferrari 250 GTO. This is a resin model, and it was sold under the name JEC, but it's basically a anonymous Chinese company that makes these models. They're it's pretty clear that they're unlicensed, which is unfortunate, but it looks to be a very nice model. And it came with this little figure of Enzo Ferrari, which I actually think is really cool. So we're going to get Enzo here out of this box and get him set up so that he can supervise, because apparently he's sitting in a little chair, and normally I would ignore the little figures and stuff that come with things every once in a while, but in this case it's Enzo. Come on, come on, focus. He's got his sunglasses, his tie, and his little chair. So very cool. So we'll set him over here where he can properly supervise the proceedings, although maybe he needs to sit on the other side because he's looking the wrong way. So he can sit over there, keep an eye on things. And let's get this thing out of the package and take a look at it. The first thing that I noticed with this out of the box, which is a little bit disappointing, is it doesn't seem to have any mirrors, which is really surprising, given, as you'll see if I can actually get rid of this silly plastic. This is all photo etched parts and very detailed everything on it, but no mirrors, which is very strange. So let's look at the bottom. So it's held on with 2 screws. I don't think I'm going to take it off the base. See if we can get a little better light on this. This thing is just beautiful. It's great detail everywhere. Wheels, I'm pretty sure these are photo etched. The side windows, the sliding window in here. That's really cool. You have photo etched exhausts, or I don't know if they're photo etched, but they're metal exhausts. Yeah, fantastic looking taillights. This is just an incredible model. You can look at that steering wheel. Leather, or brown rim, silver spokes. Seats. Get enough light in here to we're gonna get his glare out of this. See, the seats have racing harnesses on there. I wonder if that would be realistic for the era when this car would have raced. So this is, I didn't look up what the year was, but look at the door panels. Back in the 60s, safety was, not what it is today, and 5-point harnesses I'm not sure when those would really become common for racing. It does have a rear view mirror on the inside, but no external mirrors. It's a very surprising omission. Nice little buckles. This is just an absolutely fantastic model. Except for the mirrors. It's the one big disappointment. But all right, very cool, very cool. And it comes with the Enzo Ferrari character. How cool is that? All right, Enzo, you sit there. Now we'll go to the other end of the spectrum. So I had showed this yesterday. I meant to open this in my video yesterday. The Matchbox MBX Wagons 5-pack. Nothing super exciting in here. This is hardly a new release, but something that I had never picked up until now. So we'll just take a quick look at it. This is the main car that I was interested in out of it. Audi RS6 Avant. This nice flat metallic gray. It looks really cool. So very nice. Then this one is the 64 Ford Fairlane wagon. This is actually a pretty cool car. The casting's a little plasticky because of the front end being part of the base. It's not a truly a great casting. And these always, the wheels always are kind of scrunched in. This is the kind of car that if you were to customize it, you could make something really cool out of it. Swap the wheels and paint this, give it the proper details that it really needs. It'll look a lot better. It's still not bad, not a bad model. And then this was the other model that I was really interested in. It's Cadillac. This CTS wagon. Yeah. This one, no interior, which is unfortunate, but detail in the front and detail in the back. Cadillac on the license plate. Nice logos. This is an example of a good model. Even though it doesn't have an interior, it's still an example of what Matchbox does really well. These nice looking dollar models. And then you get this, what is this, a Chevy 59 Chevy wagon. This purple Wild West Tours livery. This actually is a pretty cool version of this wagon. I have a few of these with the swappable roof pieces. I think the other versions I have actually have a canoe on the roof, which is kind of fun. Cool. And then the last one is, this is the Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser. Yep. Nice blue with a wood paneling side tampo, which looks okay. Chrome. No other details. Got a couple dogs in the back. If you got a wagon, you got to have a couple dogs. I know last time I had a wagon, that's why. You had to carry the dogs around. Now we use an SUV. It's not the same. But, all right. Let's look at some of these mini GTs. Get my box opening scissors here. First up, this Toyota TRD 3000 GT. This is a brand new release, number 259. Why is my camera not focus? Not anything too interesting on the box. So last week I had picked up the version in red, and this week they released this new one in white, which looks really nice. Red should be more exciting, but I always like white cars. It would look even better if it had black wheels. Love white cars with black wheels. Red looks pretty good too, though. But otherwise, they're exactly the same. This one, yeah, I guess it does have rubberized mirrors. No reflective surface in the mirrors, but otherwise inserted taillight detail, inserted headlight detail, and very nice, typical mini GT type release. So quickly we'll go over these Skyline GTRs. Start with, I have 3 of them. Oops. We'll start with this plain white one. These are older releases, obviously. And, oh wow, this is actually much nicer than I was expecting. That looks really cool. Apologize, I've got to put these back in the boxes, otherwise I'll lose track of which inner goes with which box. Where did that go? Okay. Yeah, this looks really good. I like these wheels a lot. Nismo and the radiator, intercooler, whatever that is. Nice looking headlights. Great looking taillights. Yeah, this is much cooler than I was expecting it to be. I don't know that we're going to be able to see anything in the interior on this. It's too dark. Rubberized mirrors. Yeah, very cool, very cool. I was primarily interested in these racing livery versions, and then grabbed the plain version as kind of an afterthought. But I'm really glad I did, because that is much cooler than I was expecting. So yeah, this is a very nice one too. These are very cool looking wheels. Come on, there we go. It's nice Kiyosaki logo, Bridgestone sponsorship. Rays. You lose a little bit of the character in the taillights on this one because it's green. Although I guess this one's white. So does this have, yeah, so it has green dots on one side and orange dots on the wheels. Center caps on the wheels. They're different on each side. It's a common characteristic of the race cars. All right, one more. This one's a nice BP livery. Oh, this is number 178, and that last one was number 105. BP and oh, this one just jumped right out. Zippo lighter sponsorship. It says a different style wheel. It's like a BBS wheel. Got a wonky tire on this one too. I guess it just sat back on there. That's okay. Really nice yellow and green. Taillights look good on this. Trampio on the window. Rear defroster lines. Would they actually have that on a race car? That seems kind of silly. This one doesn't have it. I think that's a little unrealistic. It always looks a little unrealistic. This looks unrealistic too, because they're just too thick. So they stand out too much. But yeah, I don't know. This is cool. But out of these three, this is my favorite. Definitely. Oh, these have interesting. There's two little divots there. Both of the racing versions have that. This one doesn't have that, and that's strange. I don't know what those would be for. They don't look like fuel fillers. Here's one other one. Yeah, this one has it too. Huh. Does anybody know what these are for? Why are these here? It's kind of weird. Are there other differences between the street version? I mean, the front end and everything looks the same. There's no additional body work or anything. The exhausts are different. This comes out the back, this goes to the side, which is the case on all of the race versions. But other than that, and then this little detail. I mean, are those the fuel fillers? That would be a strange location for them. But I don't know. Have to do some investigating on that. All right. What next? Let's take a look at this Liberty Walk. Something a little bit newer and a little bit more interesting. Oh yeah, this is cool. So this is kind of an art car. It has graffiti. I'll do a quick look at the box. Liberty Walk, this is number 244. And the car. Yeah, it's just a graffiti graphics. It's got a Liberty Walk guy on a skateboard. Bomb. All kinds of crazy stuff in here. This is, a standard LB Works GTR. I don't think there's much different in the car otherwise. I think this is a Type 2 wing. Yeah, GTR Type 2. Yeah, so they put out two of these kind of special releases with fancy graphics on them. This one was kind of this graffiti style, and then the other one has like a really shiny chrome-like graphics on it. I wasn't able to get that one, but this one is very cool. Not that Mini GT really needs to put out more GTRs. This has got to be pushing, with these two, it's got to be pushing 55, 56. I don't know how many they've put out. A lot. A lot of GTRs. Okay. Need to make some room here. next up, let's do this Corvette. And I had picked up my first version of this last week, I think it was. Showed that. I actually have forgotten. Oh yeah, it's yellow. Sorry, I'm trying to grab it. So I picked this one up. This first version I picked up, and then now it's out in this blue. The blue is it's just a blue. It's not metallic. It's just a gloss, light blue, which looks pretty good. Mini GT did a good job on this casting. It looks a lot better. This car, I really feel like it needs some, this more substantial wing on the back to kind of balance it out. Like, I think this car looks really awesome as the race, the race version, the C8R. But a lot of the road versions that don't have a wing on the back they don't look quite right to me. But this one looks really good. So the yellow and the blue one. I think I like the yellow one better. They're pretty much the same otherwise. Same wheels. No other real differences. So just a recolor. So it's a cool casting though. And, quite the bargain for a a car. I mean, this looks much more like a supercar than it does like a muscle car anymore. It's more akin to a Ferrari than it is a Mustang at this stage, now that it's mid-engine. All right, we're gonna save these Fords for the end. Let's do these Supras. I've got two new Supras. This is the first Liberty Walk version of the Supra that I've picked up. So this, I like this a lot better. So by a lot better, I'm comparing it to this Pandem version, which I think I like the curvature in these and the shape in these in this bodywork a lot better than this the smoother way that the Pandems are. I haven't really cared for this car, but the Liberty Walk version looks a lot better to me, and it has a different hood with some more character to it. It doesn't really imply that there are holes or anything in the hood. It just is like additional shape to it. Splitter on the front. It's not dramatically different. Has some dive plane bodywork there. Yeah, I think so. On the Liberty Walk, they've kept the lines much more of the actual Supra, and whereas the Pandem has taken away those lines completely. I wasn't too impressed with this one, but I really like this one. I really like this Liberty Walk version of this car. It's very cool. And then the other one that I had shown last week that I had just added was the HKS version. And I'm not a huge fan of this one either. I think these little carbon bits here for directing airflow look kind of silly. especially since this is a street car and not a race car. And then again, it throws off the lines of the car from the back. It does, you know, you do preserve it. It didn't lose it the way that it did on the Pandem, but it has these, you know, things sticking out here that just, I don't know. Not a huge fan of this. Maybe it would look better in a different color. You know, maybe in a lighter color it would maybe look a little bit better. I don't know. But Liberty Walk's the winner for me. All right, so I have one more Supra, which is another Pandem. I think this one actually looks pretty cool just because the livery is pretty cool looking. It's a drift livery. This is an exclusive. This is not a Miho exclusive. I think this is a. I should have looked it up. I think it's a Japan exclusive or something. So it still comes with the box, number 233. You get the D1 Grand Prix authorized Mini GT. And that's it. And then the car. Yeah. I mean, I still, you know, this is still the same Pandem bodywork that we were just looking at, but you know, you put this race livery on it and it becomes a race car, and it changes it. It looks a lot better to me. It's just more cool. It's cooler. Plus you can't see the damage that it's doing to the lines of the car as much. Because it's all there's the graphics are so loud that, you know, you're just seeing a race car. You're not seeing a Toyota Supra necessarily. You're not, you know, you're not trying to view it that way. At least this is the way I'm thinking about it. I don't know if anybody else thinks about it this way. What I say, you know, doesn't matter. So, yeah. But this is cool. This is the first Pandem version that I've seen that I've really liked. But I still think I think this one looks cool. I would still like, I really wish Mini GT would put one out without any kind of body kit on it. You know, like I had picked up this Hobby Japan, which has no body kit on it, and I wish Mini GT would do one as well, just so you had a stock version to compare to the others. It'd be a good compliment instead of just having these fancier ones. So one more look at this one. I like this one. I would really like it if it didn't have these silly graphics on it. They insist on doing this. That's another thing that's, I don't know. It's a problem with the GTRs and stuff as well. There's too many, or not enough plain ones. The graphics are cool, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I dislike them. I just dislike it when every version of the car comes out with the same exact graphics on it. Like this Pandem. You know, they put this car out in several colors, all with this exact same graphics, which that's not so cool to me. All right, next up. The Audi RS6 Avant, black. The roof box, and this is number 257. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, it has RS6 on the end, and yeah, that looks cool. So I had really been waiting for a version of this with the roof box on it, and I was planning on this was going to be the only version of this I picked up. But then I went ahead and grabbed the the blue one without it, and the blue one's pretty cool, but I really like this one. It's just a nice gloss black. It's not, oh no, it is. It is metallic black. And a little dusty. Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess you can kind of see it. There's got a little, like almost a green metallic flake to it. Looks really nice. Yeah, this version looks great. Taillights look really good on it. Yeah, so not just the roof box, but the paint looks really good too. So this is kind of a blue metallic, but it doesn't have as much character. Like this has this green tint to it that it just looks, it's almost like a color shifting thing more than it is just a metallic. Depending on how the light hits it, the car looks almost green. Whereas this is just a, you know, blue metallic, which is cool. But this is beautiful. Love the roof box too. Gives it more character. It's a great model. All right, I think we're up to the 4 GTs. So these are brand new releases, new castings. And we have a street version in liquid blue, number 249. And we also have the race version in a solid black non-race livery. And I've heard that there's some quality control issues with these race versions, so hopefully mine doesn't exhibit that. Oh yeah. Like I mentioned in my in part 1 of this, I wasn't too sure about this all black version of the car, because when I get race cars, I like to get them with, you know, licensed real liveries on them. But the first impressions of this black one are, yeah, that's very cool. Okay, let's look at this blue one first. So yeah, so this is a very complicated casting, because you have these opening flying buttresses or whatever they're called here, and you have opening back here. So this is a very challenging casting for these companies to do. A lot of companies just cheat by filling in these areas, but Mini GT did open them and included engine detail, which looks pretty good. And they included mirrors. Like Greenlight did a pretty good version of this car too, with these areas being open and everything, but it doesn't have mirrors. So the Mini GT definitely wins in that regard. And actually, I need to grab that Greenlight. 1 second. Poor planning on my part. So we can see, the same thing, open areas. Paint on this one's a little rough on the interior sections, but if we put it next to the Mini GT, let's see, there's like spot on for scale. And Mini GT definitely looks a little bit better. The exhausts look better. The under the bottom portion here looks better. It doesn't have a license plate, but it's a minor thing. Tail lights look better. Engine detail. That's interesting. The engine sits further forward in the Mini GT compared to the Greenlight. I don't know which one's more correct, but that's kind of a surprising difference. Dashes look pretty much the same. The front end looks pretty good. Headlights look way better on the Mini GT. And the front looks slightly better on the Mini GT, other than the headlights, which look significantly better. Side profile. So the wheels on the Mini GT look better, but the wheels on the Greenlight have, at least they kind of made it look like it has disc brakes in there, versus this, it doesn't have anything. So yeah, I mean, Mini GT definitely wins. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but this Greenlight's not bad at all, and it's a it's a less expensive model. Greenlight costs $6-7 versus Mini GT, which is a $10 to $12 model or more, depending on where you have to get it from. The mirrors definitely make a difference on it, though. But overall, these are both great, and the Mini GT looks fantastic. So very cool. Great to see them come out with this and add another casting to their selection so that they don't have to keep issuing yet another GTR. And then the race version. So I think there were some issues with the wheels, like these didn't roll very well or something. Well, mine rolls fine, so there's no issue there. But the casting overall is fairly similar, although you do have a difference here, and that is actually, there's a big difference in here, because this goes in, versus on the street version it's like a grill. So that's very interesting. And the headlights are a completely different design. Come on. Get this to focus, it would help. Yeah, the elements on the inside are completely different, which is cool. I'm sure that's realistic. And then engine compartment, you actually can't see the engine on the race version. It has a cover over it. And the exhausts are different, and obviously it has a much bigger rear diffuser. This is a GTE spec car, or GTLM in the US, GTE in Europe, in the World Endurance Championship. And these always have big diffusers, and then of course a wing. The taillights, there's something off. What is going on here? There's something here. Is that just a detail? Like, yeah, it is. Interesting. The taillights kind of stick out of the back. I guess guess this does too. Interesting. Yeah, so you also get in the casting details here for the latches to hold the rear section down. Which is very interesting. Definitely looking forward to seeing this in the actual liveries. Those are going to be very cool. All right, well, these are pretty sweet. And I don't see any obvious quality issues on mine. So I had read that some people were having trouble with them rolling, and then I think there was some trouble with the windows. Like, well, maybe there is a gap there. There's a gap right here, maybe. Yeah, there's definitely a gap there. That does not sit quite right. So is that on both sides? No, this side seems to be okay. Yeah, so maybe these early versions do have some minor issues. I mean, when you look at it with the naked eye, you don't notice that. I don't notice it, but my eyesight's not perfect, so zooming in on a camera, you can find all kinds of problems that you would never notice when you're just looking at it otherwise. But yeah, these are sweet. Very, very cool. Alrighty. Oh, Enzo was slipping off of his chair. And I'm gonna slide him over a little bit. Slide the Ford GT in there. All right. So just a few other things. We'll just get these out of the package more for my benefit than anything. Look at this cool green satellite wagon from Greenlight. Just a nice old school wagon. Love them. Big boats. This one should have a tailgate that folds down. Very cool. And we've got to have at least one muscle car, so this Plymouth GTX Custom. This beautiful black and silver. Oh, I threw down the box. It's from the Barrett-Jackson series. So this car sold at auction for $300,000 in Scottsdale, which is local to me, in 2020. I am not the buyer of this car. I would not pay $300,000 for a car, but so this is a very cool looking model. Opening hood. It's got a lot of green lights come out of the package with some kind of oil on them. This one also has some packaging rub on the roof, which is a little unfortunate, but it's not that big a deal. Yeah, very nice, very cool. Set this over here on the other side of Enzo, which will completely freak him out. Be like, what? A silly American car with a big engine? Get that away from me. All right. I guess the last things I had were these tanks. You may not care about these. I'm sure everybody's turned this video off by now, but I'm excited to get these out and take a look at them. I have no idea why I decided to pick up tanks. I have not generally collected military vehicles at all, but this Panther tank looked very cool. I'm sure there are much better, if I was really going to get into collecting military vehicles, I'm sure there are much better companies for these things than Johnny Lightning, but you know, they don't sell those in any store that I'm aware of, so pick these up. You know, nice turret. Kind of wonky looking tank treads. So it's good to know that not only do Johnny Lightnings often have wonky looking wheels on their cars, they have wonky looking tank treads on their tanks as well. Can't ever get anything straight. But I don't know. It's cool and interesting in its own way. And then you got its competitor, the victorious, thankfully, competitor. This one has the hedgerow. I don't know what these were called. It's for cutting through the hedgerows in France during D-Day. And a cool mouth with teeth on the front here. It's a turret turn on this one. Yep. Machine gun. So, I don't know. These are cool. Not sure why I picked them up, but they just seem like fun, I guess. I don't think they roll in any way or anything, but there's a wee bit of a difference in the size of the guns. Just of course, this is I think the Panther was a heavy tank and the Sherman was a medium tank, so different classes as well. But all right, that's all she wrote, so I will talk to you next time.